Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to our class. I'm your instructor Adil Raza, and today we have to learn an SLO from grade 6 and it's our unit 11. So let's find out what our today's SLO is about. So here our SLO is about the competency of grammar and it's our lecture 1B, and what is the main focus of this SLO is future tense. So let's read what our SLO is. The SLO states that recognize and use the forms and functions of future tense. So in this SLO we will focus on the future tense, what the future tense do, what is the structure of future tense, and in this we will focus on two forms of future tense. We will see the simple future and we will see the future continuous tense. So these are the two tenses which we have to discuss about the future tense in this SLO or in this lecture. So here is the vertical linkage. You guys have read about the future tense in your previous class. So let's go further. Here is a brainstorming activity to brainstorm. So students, how can you talk about the actions that haven't happened yet? So students, you have to talk about some actions which are not happened yet. So what you will do to express such type of actions, to talk about such type of actions? Can you give the answer? So students, when you have to talk something which is going to be happen in future and don't have happened yet, you have to use future tense. You have to use the tense because that thing is going to be happen in the future. That's why you have to use the future tense to express such type of actions or such type of things which are don't yet happened. So let's find out what is meant by future tense and how we can express such type of actions which are going to be happen in the future and don't have and not happened yet. So let's find out what is the simple future tense. So the simple future tense refers to a time later than now and express facts or certainty. So students, simple future tense, what is the function of simple future tense? It is a way to express some facts or certainty or an action which will happen in the future. So we use future tense, and what is the structure? Like, I will eat an apple. So because there is a will which indicates that the action is not yet happened, the action will be happen in the future. So this is how we express such actions which will happen in the future with the help of future tense. There are a number of examples there. I shall speak, you will speak, he will speak, they will speak, we shall speak. So with the different pronouns there, these all sentences are referring some action, an act of speaking which is not happened yet but will happen in the future with the help of future tense. So in this we have to use the first form of verb and the same object with a modal verb most of the time, will or shall, because will and shall are the tense particle which indicates the future tense that they indicates that the action is not happened and will be happen in future. So that's why we have to use these modal verbs along with the first form of verb in these tenses. So let's go further. Here we have the negative and interrogative form of the simple future tense. So what we have to do to make a simple future tense into its negative form? So with the will or shall, with the modal verb of the future tense, what we have to do? We have to use not. So if we have to write will, so what we will do? I will not study. Or if we can say that they shall not study. So we have to use not with will and shall. We have to use not to make negative form of the future tense with the shall or will. After the shall or will, we have to insert a not with the first form of the verb to make our sentences of the future tense into their negative form. Like, she will not play soccer tomorrow. So this is which we are talking about. So how to form the interrogative form? Let's find out. So when we want to make interrogative form of the sentence, what we have to do? We have to insert the will or shall before the subject. Like the will or shall was placed after the subject I, what we have to do? We insert the will or shall at the beginning of the sentence before the subject to make the interrogative form of the sentence, and lastly we have insert an question mark, a question mark. So this is how we make interrogative form of the future tense, simple future tense. What it will be? Will I study? Will she play? So this is how you have to make interrogative form of the simple future tense. So I hope you guys have understand what is a simple future tense. In the simple future tense, you have to use will or shall with the subject, and what you have to do? You have to use the first form of the verb in the simple future tense, and to make negative you have to insert not after the will and shall, and if you want to make interrogative you have to insert will or shall before the subject. So this is the basic structure. And for what purpose the simple future tense is used? The simple future tense is used to refer such type of actions which are not happened yet and will be happened at the future. So I hope you guys have understand what is simple future tense, what is the form of simple future tense, what function simple future tense is performed in language, and what are the interrogative and negative forms of the simple future tense. So let's go further. Here we have future continuous tense. So let's find out what the future continuous tense did. So the future continuous tense is used to indicate an ongoing action that will happen in the future. So future continuous tense indicates such type of actions which will happen in the future and will be ongoing action. They are continuous action, but that continuous action is not happened yet. It will happen in the future. So this is what the future continuous tense performs or used to do in language. It expresses an action that will be in progress at a specific point during a specific period of the future. So how a future continuous tense will look like? So what you have to do, you have to use the same subject, you have to use the same helping verb, auxiliary verb, will or shall, modal verb we can say that, because they indicates the future time, they indicates that the action is not happening yet but will happen in the future. We have to use be with the action, and we have to use the ing form of the verb. We have to use ing with the first form of the verb. So what the sentence will become? I will be eating an apple. So I will be eating an apple, we have to insert be, we have to insert ing with the first form of verb, and the sentence become the future continuous tense. So this is how a future continuous tense is become. This is the structure of future continuous tense. Like you will be speaking, he will be speaking, we shall be speaking. So what we have done? We just have used shall, we just have used ing form, and what we have do? We just have insert an extra be before the action to indicate that the action is an ongoing action in the future. So this is the future continuous tense. I hope you guys have understand. Now we have to study the negative form of future continuous tense. So what we have to do to make these sentences negative sentences? So for the sake of transforming the future continuous tense into negative form, we just have to insert not after the modal verb as we have did in the simple future tense. So we just have to insert not plus be plus the same past participle form, or we can say that ing form, and the sentence will become a negative sentence. Like I will not be studying. So what we have do? We just have to insert this not. This not will make it a negative sentence and all the structure is same, the same subject, the same modal verb, the same be, the same ing form. We just have to insert the not to make it a negative form. I hope you guys have understand how to make the negative form of the future continuous tense. So let's find out what next. Now we have the interrogative form. How to make interrogative form? The same thing which we have done in the simple future tense, we just have to insert the helping verb will or shall before the subject. So the subject, after the subject there has to be a modal verb will or shall. What we have to do to transform it into interrogative sentence? We insert this modal verb before the subject. So what the sentence will become? Will I be studying? So you have to insert the same be, the same ing form with a question mark, and you have to change the position of modal verb will before the subject. And what the sentence will become? Will I be studying? So this is how you can transform simple future continuous tense into its interrogative form. So I hope you guys have understand what is meant by simple future tense, what is meant by future continuous tense, how to transform them into their negative and interrogative form. So use your knowledge of about the future tense and attempt this classroom activity. Let's go further. Here we have a simulation. This simulation is also based on the future continuous tense and will enlarge your understanding about the future continuous tense. The link is in the description box. Kindly go through this video. Now we have a worksheet, so kindly pause the video and attempt this worksheet according to your understanding of simple future tense and future continuous tense. I hope you guys have understand what to do. There is a homework. The homework is also related to the future tense, so kindly do this homework too. Now we have a resource pack. This resource pack will help you to achieve your SLOs in a good manner, so you can access these resources and enlarge your knowledge about the SLO. If you find any issue regarding the future continuous tense or the simple future tense, you can ask in the comment section or ask from your teacher as well. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.